Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Fulfilling Work, Meaningful Life. I'm your host, Anthony Kraker, and I am joined today by Grace Najean, transformational leadership strategist and creator of the Soulfluence Method. Grace, it's so wonderful to have you on the program today.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so honored to be here today. And, hopefully I can bring something, for your audience and the listeners. Also, they can get out something from this conversation.
Absolutely. So let me kick this off by asking you, what is the most meaningful experience you've had in the last week?
Oh, so last week, there are many things happened, but one thing really touched me was one of my new client. So she's so busy. She has three kids and she's working two jobs and one business. But she's from Africa country and her kids. I'm living in Australia, in Perth, in Australia, by the way.
Mhm.
And her kids were born here in Australia, so they are citizen Australian. But somehow they had a problem since 16 years. So she was on bridging visa for 16 years. So can you imagine that fear and uncertainty they've been through, her husband and herself? And 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, yeah, she decided do something change in herself. She realized, okay, I'm exhausted. I'm chasing everything. I'm not doing anything for myself. And she's doing study for master degree as well.
Oh, wow.
So yes, PG one very high achiever. And she was like, between doing my master degrees and coaching, I had to choose. So I called my sister and she said, okay, investing in yourself is the best, right? So she
Mhm.
made that decision, coaching. And guess what? The next week, they got the visa.
Wow. The stars aligned.
So that's it. So I'm not saying the coaching is a miracle. It fix magic. It's not about that. But
Yeah.
it's your intention, your decision in life. You need to make a decision, for
Yeah.
yourself. And but we are so busy doing other things for other people. Chasing the things we don't hear, we don't listen. What is important for us? And then she made that decision. And universe, bang. Okay, I hear you. I'm giving
Yeah.
you what is important. Here you go.
That that's beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's a great experience. I love that. Well, tell us about the Soulfluence method, how that came about, and how it can help those who are seeking greater meaning and purpose in their lives.
Yes, the soul fluence is a influenced by soul, so leading by soul.
Hmm.
We can often say a soul is like a maybe religious or spiritual, but soul for me it represent through yourself,
Hmm.
really connecting with who you are. So your inner voice, your true self, right?
Yeah.
So soul fluence is really how we can become our soul and then leading others and leading ourselves first, right? And then leading others.
Hmm.
So how it came to me is because I've been in this personal development since 12 years and I'm high achiever, as you can see on my profile. And by the way, that's why I attract really high achiever clients because, we understand each other.
Sure.
And I was Tony Robbins coach for 8 years. So, I studied 2 years, but I didn't know what coaching is. I was like, what is it? I can help everyone and anyone. That's how I felt really. And I went to see Tony Robbins. I did all his events, 4 events in 5 months. And that changed really my life, I would say. And I started my coaching business. And then 6 months later, I was invited by my coach, Tony Robbins coach, to become Tony Robbins coach. So
Oh,
I
wow.
worked for him for 8 years. And then I ended up last 3 or 4 years as a master and platinum coach. So really serving his top clients. And then after that, I did a vipassana. I don't know if you heard about it, the vipassana meditations, a silence meditation. So I've been
Hmm.
doing a lot of spiritual journey, like not religious spiritual journey, but
Right.
I'm Catholic though. So I did all these things. And last since 3 years, I do Dr. Dispenza's work. So lots of his meditations, his retreats, and all that. Now, I look back my journey. I think I'm in a really, really good space now because I'm in a flow. I I think I really know who I am and then I have that kind of faith in my life.
Hmm.
In from that space, I look back, okay, what was missing? What made me to this space now? It's not only one thing, really. I think everything really supported me and gave me who I am today. So it's a physical body and your mindset and the soul, the consciousness, what you call, yeah.
Hmm.
So if I categorize everything I've done, it comes down to three things: body, mind, soul. Yeah.
Body, mind,
So
soul.
it was quite like, very popular word. Like 10, 15 years ago, everybody talked about body, mind, soul, yoga, and then all these things. Yeah. But when I say really body, mind, soul I call body as a vessel, mind as compass, and the consciousness of the soul as a light. So in fact, body, when I say body, of course, it's a body, physical body, but it's a really body energy. Yeah. You can be
Mm.
very fit and healthy and not having energy, right? Energy in your body. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a 7 and 8 body energy chakra, what we call Indian people, or body energy centers, right? So I think opening and connecting with that each center of energy is very important. So it aligns your body energy. And after the mindset, yeah. So mindset is really your limiting beliefs or whatever, your how can I say ceilings, everything is stopping you as in a mindset. But mind doesn't work by itself. I think it goes with the heart. But most of people nowadays, problem is disconnected. Yeah, we are using
Yeah.
so much brain work. So really that coherence of mind and heart together. So that's what I call mind and consciousness. Once you have that body really aligned with the right mindset, and you can tap into that consciousness, what we call quantum physics nowadays, yeah,
Hmm.
frequency, manifestation, and all these things, yeah. So I think that's in a nutshell, in summary, I think that's what I learned for 12 years. So I try to bring all these things together as much as I can under soul fluence.
That's great. One of the things I wanted to ask you about was it seems like, at least in the Western world, it seems like anxiety is like at an all-time high. And we know from the data, especially young people, they're more anxious than ever. Why do you think that is? What is it about our modern society that kind of uh, brings on this anxiety? And then what can we do about that?
Yes, so there are a few different way I can say about that anxiety. So first is a really body physical reaction, isn't it?
Hmm.
So what do you call like a survival mode? Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are mammals, aren't we? Yeah, we are born as a body, as an animal body. Yeah, we evolved, so we are not animal anymore because we have a brain, we have a consciousness. But in the time when we are in jungle, we had to survive. Yeah, so we have that primitive brain which protect us, that survival mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we are like a front of lion, for instance, we become like a protective. Yeah, we become survival mode. In that moment, it's not the moment you're gonna think about your dream or loving and then think about others and then caring. It's not that. Really, you become that stress hormone is dominating you to survive,
Hmm.
and that gives you that adrenaline. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in that time, of jungle, we need to have that only to survive in the moment of risk, in the moment of danger. Now, in this modern society, we don't live in jungle, but we feel still like living in jungle. We created our own jungle, isn't it?
Mm.
Where does that come from? So we don't need to protect ourselves from, the other animals, but when we are attacked, our ego, that's exactly how you feel back. You feel like you're attacked by animals, other
Yeah.
animals, right? And then you become straight that survival mode and defense mode, and you become really ego-centered, yeah,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
survival mode because you can't think about others, right, in the moment, yeah. So now, since young age, we are conditioned to compete with others and compare with others, and we are judged consistently, right?
Yeah.
In that moment, it's all about your ego. You need to protect yourself, yeah? And of
Yeah.
course, you become that survival mode and protect mode and anxiety mode, fear mode. Everything becomes that fear mode.
So it's really it's fear that's driving our actions a lot of the time.
Exactly. But the bad news is even anxiety, that stress hormone, you can be addicted. So once you are in that mode of, functioning without that stress all the time, once you don't have, I have my clients, even me, many years ago, when you stop, like, oh, should I do something? Yeah. Am I right to stop and enjoy this, not like a rest or do nothing? Because you have a feeling like you have to do something, right? In the
Yeah.
moment, or you have to do more. Yeah. So I think that we are addicted to that stress hormone when it's missing. So therefore we create up again more and more and more. And of course, social media. So, all the other young people, as you mentioned, it
Right.
creates even more that, competitiveness and then a judgment and then stress mode and then all that.
Yeah, and we live in such a fast-paced world now with the technology that we have, and I was just having a conversation yesterday with somebody about this. Like the irony of it all is the tools that we have are supposed to make our lives easier, and we're supposed to be more efficient so that we can have more time to do the things that we want to do and focus on the things that matter most. And yet we're busier than ever, and like you said, we're addicted to productivity in a way, in a not so healthy way, I think. So what are some practical strategies that we can implement to try to deal with that problem of being in survival mode and focusing too much on, productivity versus focusing on the things that matter most?
Yeah, it's very interesting you mentioned that. I still believe I'm a believer AI can really support our life even better. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's like a mobile phone. It depends on how we use it. AI for me is the same thing. Indeed, they're there to really do the robotic, the systematic works that we supposed to. Human are not supposed to do that type of work. Yeah, 8 hours a day in the office or in the factory, right? We created that world now, and then we need to fit into it, right? But the problem with the AI is the same thing because we are not master of AI. Why? Because we we are not a human being. We are not connected our soul. We are not connected to who we truly are. We pretend we become like a robot. We become like an AI. So we are
Yeah.
competing against the AI as if we are another AI, isn't it? So I think the only way we can have that, how can I say, the big master, or the or even partner of the AIs is becoming human being, true human being. What makes a different human being than AI? It's your heart. It's your the consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the you come back to your question is what do we need to do? Is you need to know who you are, really. First of all, you don't even know who you are, how you can support others or lead AIs. It's impossible. Yeah. So I really, really, even my corporate clients, entrepreneurs, or even any clients, I really start with a self-awareness, because we are so busy taking care of others, especially moms or parents, our kids first, job after that, and everything else, and then you don't know even who you are. So I have so many clients come and, Grace, I want to be happy, and I ask, what makes you happy then? Big silence. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what makes me happy. So how can you get happiness if you don't know what makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a simple step. You need to know who you are. What do you want in your life, really? Not what other people want you be.
Right. What does that process look like to try to figure out who we are? How do we go about doing that?
So how many hours do you spend to know about yourself a day?
Yeah, not many, if any, right?
Hello, right? So we we listen to podcasts, read the books, or we go to the events and all that. But that's still teaching, because
Yeah.
if you don't do it, if you don't own yourself, it's just a teaching. Yeah. So knowing something and doing it is a different thing. But people think if you know, it's done. I know it, so therefore it's good. No, you have to do it. Yeah. So simple things, really. Put some time, for yourself, sit down. So that's why I think coaching is also, valuable. Yes, of course, there are good coaches, excellent coaches who can support you. But having your own time for that 1 hour per week or 45 minutes even, it's time for you and to sit down and reflect on yourself with the support of coaches. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I give a really simple exercise like a SWOT analysis. Yeah. SWOT analysis is a marketing tool. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Hmm.
So strengths and weaknesses are your internal, and opportunity threats are your external elements. So just brainstorm your personal and professional SWOT analysis. Start to write down. Some people type, but I really personally like, writing down, because it gives you a different way of learning, to your brain. So
Hmm.
write down, brainstorm, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Yeah. And what opportunity do I have with these strengths and weaknesses? Yeah. And threats, same thing. Second work I usually give is Ikigai. There's a book. It's a Japanese philosophy. So if you want to be fulfilled in your life, you need to meet four things at the same time. One is what you love to do. Second is what you are good at. Third is what you can be paid for. And the fourth is what the world needs. So if you do
Mm.
so, it means you are living in your passion, mission, vocation, profession, everything in one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a quite interesting exercise. It's very simple as well, because it's four things, yeah, like a SWOT analysis. But sometimes simple is powerful. So you can write down everything you love to do, even when you are young, you don't do anymore singing, dancing, or drawing, whatever, right? And what you're good at, what you can be paid for beyond your job. Not only your job,
Hmm.
not only your degrees, yeah, but whatever you can be paid for, and what you think the world needs. So I do once a year for myself, because I evolve myself. So my strengths has changes, and what I'm good at is changes. So I do that exercise every year. I go somewhere myself, and then I isolate myself, and I do exercise, and then when you start to write, you see it's obvious. Oh, okay, I used to do that. I am good at this. All these things. So
Yeah.
it's a very simple step, but I think you can start from there. And of course, there are so many, like a personal profile test. Yeah, I love Gallup Strengths Finder, because that gives you really focus on your strengths, not weaknesses.
No
So
weaknesses. Yeah.
knowing your strengths, because so many people focus on weaknesses. They always focus on what do I need to improve, or what am I good at. That's our conditioning from school. You
Yeah.
are not good in math, and you need to do more, and then all these things. No, you are good what you're doing. Focus on your strengths and really develop that. And of course, after that, so many other things, the lifeline exercises and all these different things, I use to have that self-awareness. Once they have that, funny enough, they start to have self-confidence.
Hmm.
But people avoid to know themselves because they have a fear of facing themselves, because they focus so much on weakness, and then they have a fear of, what if I'm not good enough? I find out I'm not, that good person, or I'm not, whatever. Yeah. So they avoided it. But once they, discover, then like, oh, I'm like that. Oh, I have this. Oh, and that gives such self-confidence.
Right. Right. Another question I wanted to ask you about is, we talked about social media and the technology, and the fast-paced world that we live in. It's so easy to become distracted these days, and I don't just mean on a macro level. I mean, just day to day, like just working, you're doing your job, but you're checking email and you're looking at social media, and it's hard to like focus, right? I mean, I think a lot of people struggle with that. How can we increase our ability to sustain focus and concentration?
Don't go there. Do you think successful people, they are on Instagram, they are on Facebook? Do you think they are going to Facebook and scroll? Apparently, average people do 3,000 kilometers. That's it, of scrolling.
3,000 kilometers.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I support some of because I love high performance. My daughter is a tennis player as well. She's in college tennis. So I supported some professional tennis players, right? And when we train as a mentor coach, I supported them. Two things. Two things I tell them. One, no phone on the table when you eat. Second, you put tracker no more than 1.5 hours a day. Because I was surprised. I don't know how that happened. Usually it's between 5 to 9 hours
Yeah.
of screening.
Yeah.
And they play tennis, they do exercise, they do everything. So when do they do that? 5 to 9 hours. So imagine if you're not tennis player, if you're not doing exercises, what do? Do more, right?
Right.
So I think you need to have the discipline and knowing this is not real world. It's not real world, you know?
Hmm.
It's like AI. You can leverage them, but don't be, how can I say, slave
Yeah.
of the technology who's supposed to serve us. Yeah, it's so easy go there. But again, the people who live their life fully and then successful and then living fulfilled life, they don't go there.
Yeah.
Guarantee you.
You mentioned earlier in the interview, you talked about meditation. Is that something that's helped you to be able to focus and concentrate more on what you're trying to do?
Absolutely. So myself, I was a corporate world, So before studying this personal development, for me, meditation was like after retirement, and yoga was like after the death, you know, like boring kind of things, right?
Yeah.
But I really realized it's so fascinating. Meditation is not just a spiritual feeling good and make you a good person. It's not about that. It's really scientific evidence
Yeah.
behind it. Yeah. So I'm not going there because it's not the topic today. But seriously, the meditation helps you train your brain and in getting that state of, as you mentioned, the focus and then knowing yourself and then all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a more like for me, it's a self-control tool, self-mastery tool,
Yeah.
better than just doing good thing. Yeah. So yes, definitely I do 1.5 hours of meditation every morning.
Oh,
But
that's a long time.
yes, yeah, but again, everything can be addicted. I'm addicted to meditation. It feels so good. First thing I do, I wake up. Oh, my meditation! I want to go there, right? And I feel good. Yeah, same thing. It's better to addicted to meditation than stress. Meditation definitely helps, having that quiet state of your
Hmm.
brain, not agitated and under stress. So meditation, some clients, as I mentioned, meditation is more like a spiritual connotation, so they don't like it. And then
Yeah.
I give the counting down, simply counting down to 50 to 1. So what you need to do is just close your eyes and then visualize the number. So 50, 49, 48, visualize, and you speak out loud 50, 49. Or if you have a spouse or somebody else next to you, then, in your mind, eyes, just 49, and then, in your mind, 48, 47, 46. So you visualize if you're, how can I say, reading the number at the same time, your brain can think at the in the same moment. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the goal is really switching off your brain from your thoughts. So therefore you visualize and then you speak out loud the numbers, and it'll give you at least 50 seconds of break for your brain. Yeah. So
Yeah.
then after that you can increase to 100 or 150. Yeah. Guess what? I have a lots of clients try that, and a client called me that, Grace, you know what? I can't do this. 50 to 1 so hard. 37 each time. I just go somewhere and my thoughts comes. I can't finish it. So she's a very high achiever. And she was like, so therefore I started from 20 to feel like I can finish it. So
Yeah.
20 to 1. She couldn't do it. So she did it 10 to 1. So 10 to 1. And then once she got used to it, 20 to 1. And then you increase 30, 40.
Work your way up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've found that even 10 minutes or so a day of just mindfulness meditation can make a real difference. I remember a few years ago, I'm an attorney in my professional life, and so I was sitting for the bar exam in the United States. Each state has its own exam, and so I was taking another state's bar exam, and it's a 2-day exam, and you've got like 4 2-hour sessions each day, so it's a lot. And so I found that right before each 2-hour session, if I took just 5-10 minutes and just breathed and focused on being mindful, being present in the moment, that really helped me to be able to concentrate during the exam. And so I think it's a small thing, and you can build up over time. And it sounds like you've built up to, you said, an hour and a half. That's that's amazing. But it's worth an investment of your time, has been my experience.
Absolutely. And then you spot on. Breathing is one other exercise. People think, you need to put candle and doing it's not only that, right?
Yeah.
So anything keep you away from your thoughts, meditations. Like even like people playing high level sports or sports, when while you're playing that, you're focusing on one thing, what they call the zone, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of a meditation too. So walking meditations, breathing meditations. So simple like a 4-4, like a box. We call it box breathing. So you
Hmm.
breathe in for 4, keep for 4, breathe out for 4, and keep for 4.
Yeah.
Very easy to remember. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can alternate between that breathing, box breathing, and counting numbers, right? So you can use a few things to really switch off your brain, even a few minutes a day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I want to be sure to ask you before we finish. What was it like working with Tony Robbins? Tell us about a little bit about that experience.
Oh, he's an amazing guy. I daily really respect and love him as a mentor, and then as a, how can I say, my boss, and then he changed my life. I think he, because I'm nowadays I'm doing a lot of doctor dispenser as well, right? So if
Hmm.
I may compare like two different personalities in school, Tony Robbins is really more about body energy and mindset. So how you can control and being master of your mindset
Hmm.
yourself, and an amazing strategist. And then Dr. Dispenza is more like a consciousness, really. Also, how you can tap into that field of energy, frequency, and having that higher consciousness. So, some different school and a different method.
And they work together, right? The two. I mean, it's like you were talking about earlier with your method, the soul fluence method. It's body, mind, spirit, or soul.
Absolutely. That's why I put that soul fluence three thing together, because spiritual teachers teach you about spirit. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yoga teachers teach you about body. And then I think it needs to be all together. So that's why I created the simple things. I'm not teaching like a, PhD degrees, the theory. It's not about that. It's not the
Yeah.
goal, but everyday life, everybody can do something simple every day. So therefore, they can find themselves and connect with themselves, so therefore they are leaders for themselves and for others. Yeah, because that's not like nothing like you serve everybody else, but you feel alone and you
Yeah.
feel lost still.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's a good feeling to serve and help others in that moment. But end of the day, if you are not connected with yourself, your life can't be really fulfilled.
Yeah, we only get one life, right? That's all we get. Well, I want to be sure that you have an opportunity to tell my audience about how to connect with you, but also you have a retreat that you do. Is that right? Tell us about that and how people can learn more about you and what you do.
Absolutely. So you can connect with me through my website, www.grace Najin, my name. So Grace, Najean.com. So you can find all the information about me, the soul fluence, and my retreat, and my coaching, and everything. My retreat is in Lombok, Indonesia, a really beautiful, magical place near Bali. It's 30 minutes from Bali.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's a 7 days retreat. As I mentioned earlier, we have a 7 energy centers. So a few months later, or even a few weeks later, they just straight go back and then become like a past
Yeah.
person. Yeah, same. Why? Because you have the same wife, same husband, same children, same bed, same colleague. So it's a very hard to keep that transformation in life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason why I keep that 7 weeks every week, we meet together, same people, hold that space energy and being accountable to make that happen. And after that, I do 7 months of individual coaching to apply really implementation of the transformation for 7 months in daily life. So that's a whole year of program of transformation.
Yeah. So 777.
7 program, that's it.
I love it. Love it. Grace, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. It's been a very enlightening conversation, and I appreciate the actionable strategies and ideas that you've been able to share for my listeners. And I think our audience will get a lot out of this conversation. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you.